Well, hello. Oh my gosh. Can you believe this? I think this is like maybe the second or third week in a row that I have actually been on time. I mean, that's some interesting stuff. Just saying. I'm not usually the most punctual person, okay? But when I have issues, when I have problems with the stream thing, it just makes everything even harder. Yeah. But thanks to Mercury retrograde, right? Thanks to Mercury retrograde, I think I may have this thing figured out. Now, I'm not entirely certain, and I hope it doesn't go back to whatever it was doing before Mercury retrograde, but right now, feeling pretty like on top of it. So feeling really good. Anyway, sorry. I need to see, because on this streaming service, I can't see people on Facebook. So I have to have Facebook pulled up so that I know. It's complicated. It's complicated. So, oh my gosh. New moon in Scorpio. All right, first of all, this new moon in Scorpio is a little bit confusing because on the Eastern Standard Time and Central, I believe, because I can add, right? It is the new moon in Scorpio hits its peak on the 20th. Mountain and Pacific time, it hits its peak on the 19th. So depending on your location, this new moon could hit its peak on the 19th or the 20th. So tomorrow or Thursday, respectively. Because I mean, I always go by Eastern Standard Time when I'm talking about astrology because that's where I am. And it makes the most sense to me. And Mercury, please, really. And it makes the most sense to me. And can you see that? Can you see that mess? I keep cleaning this up so that it's not a mess of cat food in my streams and on my videos. Do you see that, people? Well, hello, Kelsey. Do you see that? I mean, I'm constantly cleaning up after these cats. So anyway, and by the way, I'm really sorry that the mid-month numerology didn't get posted until the 16th. I messed the dates up and I thought Sunday was the 15th. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so far ahead. I'm so far ahead. All I have to do is just pull the trigger and just load all the videos onto YouTube. And then it was like halfway through the day and I was like listening to somebody say something about, Monday being the 17th or whatever. And I was like, Monday's the 16th. And they're like, no, it's not. So I don't know what was going through my head. I mean, just a little off kilter. It's fine. It's Mercury retrograde. What else can I say? So that being said, this new moon in Scorpio has a lot going on. Okay. So you guys know new moon is a dark moon, right? So that means it's conjunct the sun. So when we have the sun and the moon conjunct, they're obviously in the same sign. The sun, the moon, and Mercury are now in opposition of Uranus, our planet of super exciting, spontaneous chaos. All right, so the sun, moon, and Mercury are in opposition of Uranus, who is retrograde in Taurus right now. That's a fun little element, okay? That's number one. The second one is there's 4 other planets besides Uranus that are retrograde right now, and they're all in water. Jupiter is in Cancer. Mercury is in Scorpio, and Neptune and Pisces are, Neptune and Saturn are in Pisces. You know, I'll get this out. I will. It's going to be great. So, with that, Venus is in Scorpio as well, but Venus is in her, let's call it a dark phase. All right. It's not a bad place for Venus. Venus doesn't like being in Virgo. And again, I say this all the time. Who can blame her? Who can blame her? But Venus is in Scorpio. This is deep. This is dark. This is shadowy. We could say that this is her shadow side. Like, I'm okay with that. I talk about shadow sides in numerology all the time. Everything has a shadow side. Everything. I think I just lost. No, I didn't. I thought I lost my fingernail in my ear. Yeah, that's happened before when I scratch in my ear and lose a fingernail. It's embarrassing. Can't believe I'm saying this live. It's great. So back to Venus. She's in her dark phase in Scorpio. This is deep. This is emotional. It's a little bit dangerous. You know, it is the shadow side of Venus. Nothing wrong with that. It's not. At least it's not in picky Virgo where she's unhappy. That's all I'm saying. So keeping in mind that we have a 9-year in numerology, which is about letting go. It's about transitions. It's it's cycle changes. It's phase changes when we look at the 9 in numerology. And this too, this whole fall thing with all these planets in retrograde with this new moon in Scorpio, this is definitely a time to let go. This is a time to release. This is a time to sort of let our shadow sides out, embrace them a bit. And we also need to let go of our past selves. Now, when I said on the title, acceptance and accountability, couldn't remember what I put. I know. I wrote that a couple of hours ago. Couldn't remember what I said on it. It's so awesome, isn't it? So acceptance and accountability. We need to be accepting of ourselves here, because part of what is going on with us is that we look at ourselves in the past and we are just super judgmental. And I'm saying this because I do that. All right. I walked around like completely like total chaos in my 20s, partially in my 30s, and really just an incredible asshole. I'll just admit it. I am sure that I contributed to a lot of people's, like, I was their Cruella de Vil. I'm positive of it. Okay. And I've gotten paid back for that. Okay. I have definitely reaped that whole thing. However, when I finally started working through some stuff and I finally started healing in my 30s, it still didn't like wave the magic wand away. I had to work through that out of stages. So, again, sometimes I was really great and sometimes it was really scary. And, every time like I had like something happen to me that was like a little traumatizing, I went back to that Cruella de Vil version of Jennifer. Yeah. Now, it didn't stop me when I got to a place where I was in a more healed space. It didn't stop me from going and apologizing to people. That was the difference between me in my 30s, me especially in my late 30s, and me in my early 20s. I would definitely apologize. I would walk up and just be like, well, I screwed up. I did that in the biggest, baddest way possible. I'm sorry that I was such an ass. I'm so sorry that I screwed up whatever. That was like a huge difference. To be fair, some of the things I did, I didn't know were bad. Like I accidentally, in the 90s, I had to go to this formal wedding and I didn't really realize, I just knew one of my exes was going to be there. So I was trying to look really nice. And I wore it was a very cream, almost yellow dress. And I didn't realize, like, how bad that was to wear to a wedding. I mean, the bride was in, like, white. I mean, like, white. I was obviously in something that wasn't white. But still, I didn't know then that it was a really bad thing, and I have beat myself up over that for years because I did not realize, like, that was a bad thing. Like, somebody should have told me before. People knew what I was wearing to this wedding, and somebody should have told me. But that's okay. That's okay. We're moving on. Okay? In this new moon, I'm going to let go of that because that was literally, it was like before, I don't know, it might have been around 1996, 94, 95. I don't even know the exact date. But it's time to let that go. It's been a minute. Yeah. So that's something that I'm going to release and let go of. I am sure that I was, again, Cruella de Vil to that wedding party. That's fair. I'm sure that there are a lot of people out there that I owe an apology to. Again, that's fair. But to also be fair to how far I have come, there's been some things that I've done that I feel like are pretty good too. There's been some things that I've accomplished that I'm very proud of. There's been some things that I have done that I'm just like, okay, I handled that well. I know that I did a good thing here. That's just the nature of it. That's just sort of the nature of the healing process of learning who we are. I think that it's a good thing that I went through those things when I was young. And let me tell you something, I am so incredibly grateful that all those things that I went through when I was young and uneducated and just unhealed, that there was no social media around then. Holy crap. Holy crap. I see people every day, and some of these people I am very close to. I see people every day online doing unhinged stuff online. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what? Why are we doing that? Why are we doing that? This is the thing. At least mine was mostly private and it was in like small communities, small groups of friends. I'm so grateful every day that there was no social media around in the 90s. I mean, really. But I'm also really grateful that that stuff happened to me when I was younger and I was a little bit more resilient. I am now seeing things happen to people as they are older and they're not bouncing back. There's something that is just like not, like, there's a disconnect in the fact that they do owe people an apology or that they shouldn't behave the way that they do. And I see it. I see it. I saw it in my family. I saw it with my grandparents. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, I mean, even just before my grandmother passed, like, she hurt my feelings so bad. And here I am, an adult, a mother, and I'm just like, is this real? Is this a real thing that is happening? That this grown woman is hurting my feelings? I mean, but again, I don't know, like, I mean, she was spending too much time alone watching game shows. Some of them were very interesting. But the thing is that, like, I think she had just gotten too much into herself. I think that she had just gotten too much, like, there was too much of a focus in with her, you know? And so I have to let that go because first of all, she passed away a couple of years ago. And yeah. So that's something that you just have to deliver from, you just have to let go of. And I've had Facebook for 21 years now, so just over half my life. But back then, it was very limited on what could be posted. Yeah, see, that's a good point, Kelsey. That is a good point. It was very limited in the beginning, right? Of like what could be posted or what could be seen or whatever. I wish that there was some sort of filter on it now. I wish there was a filter on TikTok. But there's not, and that's okay. That's okay. I mean, if that's what people need to do to heal, I wish they would just make the videos and make them private. But again, it's none of my business. I just like some of the people that I know, some of the people I'm close to, and I'm just watching them and I'm going, oh, hun, please no. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. But what are you going to do? So what are we going to do? We're going to work through this with this moon. We're going to work through this with all these planets in retrograde because thankfully a couple of them go direct before the end of the month. So we're going into December with only 3 planets in retrograde instead of 5. And thankfully one of those is Mercury, and couldn't be more grateful. Although I got to tell you, during this Mercury retrograde, and this is, again, I know I keep saying this is what you should do during Mercury retrograde or a lot of retrogrades, is that you really need to repair. Let's fix the things that need to be fixed. And that's what I've been working on during this whole massive retrograde season. That's what I've been working on. I've had it since Facebook was created, and only college kids have it. I did not realize that. I remember getting Facebook, and one of the guys I was in school with was like, I never post on it. He was the very first person to post on my wall, and he was like, you're not lying. You really have nothing on here. Nope. And then I started paying attention to it because I didn't know what it was. I think I joined it so that I could like do something with school, because I was in school like for the second time, then. And I think I had joined it so that I could do something with school. I don't know what it was. Yeah. And here we are still in 2025, and I haven't been posting anything on my social media for my business like I'm supposed to. And that brings me to something I would like to talk about next week if you guys are game. I know next week is Thanksgiving, and I don't know how many of you are going to be around on Tuesday, but I would like to talk about like metaphysical businesses. So if that's a topic that y'all are interested in, like hit me up, let me know what you think about this. But I would definitely like to see, what's going on out there, or what y'all think. If you're wanting to start a metaphysical business, or if you have a metaphysical business that's lagging, I want to talk about this because I think there's a lot of stuff that needs to be addressed. Because, I coach people for YouTube, and I know it seems kind of crazy because I only have like it's less than 1,500 subscribers on YouTube, but I've made a lot of mistakes, so I can tell people what not to do. Which again brings me back to this new moon in Scorpio. When you've made a lot of mistakes, you can then navigate and say, hey, I don't want to do this. Hey, I don't want to be this person. I want to be this person. I don't want to be this person. I think that's a positive thing. I think that is a positive thing. It is also like starting a business. It's also like being in a relationship. When you discover the wrong way to do things, you learn and you say, yeah, I'm going to do that a different way next time. I'm going to do that a different way. And I don't think that is a failure. I don't think that is a bad thing. I think just being able to embrace and say, hey, this is, these are the mistakes that I made. This is what I'm going to intentionally say I'm not doing for my kids, or I'm going to teach somebody else how not to be that way. I mean, it really does, like, when you're trying to help people out, it does, like, resonate, right? With, like, okay, I've learned my lesson. Now, some people have to learn through doing. I get that. I get that. And honestly, in a 9-year, well, nines and sevens in life path numbers with numerology, they really, like, can learn through doing, but they also learn through, like, reading and stuff. But knowledge and experience are very equal in, like, a life path 7 and a life path 9. So when we're in this vibration of a 9-year, I think that it's good that we're embracing both the experience and the knowledge, because it should have equal real estate in our heads. It really should. Wow, do you want to shake a little bit harder, because you didn't knock the camera all the way down? I love him. I mean, Mercury's over here on the heater, because I have this wonderful heater that I got from, like, QVC like a million years ago, and it doesn't get hot on the top. It just gets a little bit toasty, and she lays on it all the time. I mean, she boots him off. That's funny. That's so funny. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, anyway. Dude, look at him. I know. They want to see you. They do. Look. They want to see you. Funny. My friends and I would try to fill each other's walls. The first, oh my gosh, that's right. It was a maximum of like 10 posts. I forgot. If only they could do that today. I mean, don't you agree? Don't you agree? So, okay, so these are some of the things that I wanted to talk about, that we need to let our shadow selves loose a little bit, not dangerously, not like into a place of, felonies, not even misdemeanors. Y'all, I don't have bail money, but we need to let our shadow sides out just a little bit, okay? Because it's not good to repress that. It really isn't. But the thing is, we need to let it go. Feel those feelings. Feel that shadow side of ourselves, but don't camp out in it. Don't camp out in that negativity. Don't camp out in that shadow side. Whether it's anger or jealousy or whatever. He is just wanting some love. Look, see, Kelsey says hi. Kelsey says hi. I'll stop with the baby talk. But really, all of us have been a catalyst or contributing. We've been the bad guy in somebody else's story. All of us. Even like the very best people have been the bad guy in somebody's story. We have. But we've also been a good guy. I mean, again, even the worst people have been the good guy in somebody's story. And that's true, especially because we don't always see this. This is true with politicians, all right? I'm not defending politicians, because right now, at this moment, I'm not in love with any of them, whether they're a Republican or a Democrat. Right now, all I see is Bozo the Clown on all of them. But that's the only opinions that I'm going to give about politics. I'm just saying that there are politicians out there that are like evil to us, that may be somebody else's, like, they may have done something else to help out other people. So we have a lot of duality to ourselves. In that respect, we need to let go of the fact that some people are just innately bad, because even people that have been the villain in my story, they're not innately bad creatures. They're not. They're not horrible creatures. And I have to stop and say, what did I contribute to that relationship? What was my role in that? What was it that what was I supposed to learn? What was I supposed to gain from that? Like where was my part in that? Because obviously, if you're a part of it, you are a contributing factor to the whole thing. What was it that I did? And I will tell you, there's been so many times that in the past few years especially, that I've just sat back and had myself a nice little pity party of just like shit that's happened in the past. Okay, what was I meant to learn in that? And it took me a while to shake out of it. But what I did that was wrong was 100% me, is that I just pushed and pushed and pushed myself to like keep going, keep going, keep going. And I got into this like I don't know. I got into this place that I was just like, don't worry about it. You'll heal later. Just keep going. Just keep going. You'll heal later. Just keep going. That was wrong. That was absolutely wrong. What I should have been doing was healing along the way. Instead, what I did was I just dove straight into the deep end and I just kept going. Like I was trying to swim to China. I don't know. It was kind of crazy. And I just should have been like, I'm going to move cautiously. I'm going to be like the Temperance card in the tarot. I'm going to move cautiously. I'm not going to stay stagnant, but I am going to move ahead cautiously. And I'm going to heal a little bit at a time. Because then I wouldn't have been as depressed. Then I wouldn't have been as pissed off. I would have let these things out a little bit at a time. Now it's time for me to just let go of that. It's time for all of us to do that. It's time for us to just say, okay, we're going to go. We're going to go on now. We're going to move past this and let XYZ do whatever it is that they got to do. Because I hope they're not innately bad people. I mean, I don't feel like I am anymore. So I hope that they are not. And I hope that they don't view themselves that way. I truly do. I truly do. I think that sometimes we all get into a bad position, and if we were in a spot that we were wrong, I hope that we can take that kind of accountability and say, hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And then forgive ourselves, because it's not necessarily we may not get forgiveness from that person. We may not get forgiveness from anyone on the other side of our issue, but we can forgive ourselves. And sometimes that's the only closure we can get. Re-examine this. During all of these retrogrades, it is a great time to do a little time travel, look at things from a different perspective. It's time to look at some of these past things and just work through it, heal, and move on. And hopefully the scar isn't that big. Hopefully the scar from the healing isn't catastrophic. But we live and we learn. I do like that. I know. I really do like that. What do you think, Mouse? I mean, I love it that you're laying on my notes and I can't actually read what I was going to say. So I don't know. I mean, he's really laid across my stuff. Do I have I don't know if I have this up. I do. Can you see this? I think I can. I mean, maybe I can read this a little better. Okay. That's my boy. That's my boy Mouse. So, but I really do I feel like this is a good time for us. It's a little bittersweet. And normally the new moon in Scorpio isn't this intense. I mean, okay, Scorpio is very intense. The Scorpio energy is intense. Normally the new moon in Scorpio is not this intense. This is extreme intensity because of its opposition to Uranus. And there's a word, Kazemi? I think it's Kazemi. And it's like something about like how when Mercury, the sun, and the moon are all like not, right in there together. It's something about that creates this like big reveal, this big like opening up. And I hope that for us with Mercury in retrograde that it does like open us up to something that we maybe need to address. Something that we just need to say, okay, this is me. I get that. Like I messed up, or I can correct it, or okay, I need to just move on from it, whatever. I hope that's what we do during this time. And I hope, this is my wish for everybody. It is. Because we're coming up to the end of this 9-year. We're coming up to the end of a year that is it's the end of a 9-year cycle. And I think that this is pretty, I think it is pretty intense. And having all of these planets retrograde and some opposing others, having Venus in her dark phase, in her dark era. Yeah. What do you think? She's in her vixen? We could call it that. She's in her shadow side. She's in her shadow era. Yeah, not bad, not a bad fall position or in the detriment or anything like that. It's just being in Venus. That's okay. So that is I know. I'm sorry. I just need to check my notes because I can't see. Here, look, lay across my arm, okay? I think a huge thing here is redemption and forgiveness. I think that's just a huge part of it. And the thing is, if we look at ourselves, like we look at the people that we love, we would forgive, like the people that we love, we would forgive them for a lot. We would forgive them for if they messed up and they came back and said, I'm sorry, I was crazy, I was hormonal, I was like dealing with trauma, whatever. If we had that happen, if somebody did that, we would be quicker to forgive other people than we are to forgive ourselves. And I think that this is a huge thing that we need to remember, to keep ourselves in that same bracket, that if we would forgive other people, we need to forgive ourselves. Yeah. I saw this really interesting TikTok where this girl was like talking about this. She said, I have this friend, and these are the things that she said to me. And she starts listing out like all these ridiculous things like, you ate ice cream last night, so you should probably lay off like extra stuff today. You should, like it was just crazy, ridiculous stuff that she said was constantly being said to her. And it was her just going, I really wouldn't tell anybody like where you are in your career, because everyone here is so much further ahead than you. You really should have rethought some of the outfits that you're wearing, because this is, it's not the best look for you. I really wouldn't try to go after like some guy that she was interested in, because I've got a mouse hair in my eyelashes. because I wouldn't try to go after this guy because, you know, he's so far above you, all of this stuff, like all these things that she was just listing out. And the whole time I'm watching this TikTok, I'm like, oh my gosh, her friend is a bitch. Her friend is an asshole. At the end of it, she says, and that friend was me. I was saying those things to myself. I was constantly telling myself these horrible, horrible things that I would not have put up with from somebody else. I would not have put up with somebody else talking to me that way. I would not have put up with somebody else degrading me that way. But I put up with it from myself. Let's don't do that to ourselves anymore. This is a 9-year for us to go through phase changes so that we can have a fantastic new beginning in 2026 in that 1 year. This is a time of us letting go and forgiving ourselves. It's a new day every day. Every day come to the table with just like, okay, yesterday that's who I was. Today, I'm going to be a better version. Today, I'm going to be the very best version that I can be. And if you screw up and you make a mistake, oh my gosh, girl, come sit at my table. I make mistakes so much. I mean, look, my cats barely forgive me. But the thing is, make mistakes. It's okay. Make mistakes. If you're making mistakes, that means that you're actually out there participating. You're actually out there doing something. You're actually trying things, whether it's relationships or businesses or meditation. I'm just saying. Do what you can. Learn. Improve yourself every day. The thing is, what I don't like to see is people that had, I don't want to say an easy life, but they had no real like hiccups or heartbreaks or anything happen to them in their earlier years. And when it happens, because it will happen, it always does. When it happens to them in their later years and they spin out of control. They can't bounce back. And then they blame themselves. They blame themselves because the people around them are just like, what's wrong with you? Just deal with it. Just deal with it. Please don't break the crystals. That's somebody's gift. Okay? We're just gonna move that. Look, we don't play with the crystals on mommy's desk, remember? I have to forgive him. Really. A lot of times I come in here in the mornings and the crystals on my desk are just all over the place. Like they've had a party with mouse all night. Because they're shiny and they roll around real easy. I mean, the tumbled ones, oh my gosh, they're just all over the place. But the thing is, we need to forgive ourselves. We need to say, okay, I'm going to be a better version of myself today than I was yesterday. And for people that are dealing with traumas and they're not handling it very well in their 30s or 40s or 50s or even 60s, the thing is, there's nobody around them that has like patience or acceptance like we did when we were younger, right? Because there was always somebody, when you got your heart broken in your 20s, there was always somebody there with Ben and Jerry's or tequila, right? And just being like, okay, let's go trash that man. Let's go take that woman apart. Let's go just like talk about them like the dogs that they are. You know, yeah, it's hard to find that person when you're a little bit older, but if you're really needing it, you can always give me a call because, yeah, we'll trash talk some people if that'll help you heal. I know. I'm in my 50s. I don't think I've lost my touch there. Yeah. So, anyway, he's just determined to turn my shit over. He is really cute, though. I mean, can you see that? Had to move the crystals, but he's laid out like third base. So funny. But we're going to forgive him, right? Just like he's going to forgive me because I fed him 2 hours late today. I'm really hoping that like we continue down that line. But you know, cats are just they're not very forgiving creatures. Are you? I know it. Okay, so new moon in Scorpio. It's a great time to release. And then let's go through this next phase because it goes in, like the sun goes into Sagittarius shortly after this new moon in Scorpio. And Sagittarius is going to bring us all this lovely spontaneity, some fun, right? And it's going to get the sun, the moon, and Mercury. Well, Mercury's got a little bit more time in retrograde. But soon Mercury will be back in Sagittarius. I know Venus will be moving into Sagittarius. So we're moving out of the deep, emotional Scorpio and into a bit of frivolity, again, spontaneity, some interesting stuff with that Sag energy. So I love it. I love it. But there was something, see, he's laying across my notes. I mean, I can lift up his leg. I can't see it all. I just hate to move him. Yeah. But this is a wonderful time to do this. All these planets in retrograde. It's a great time for us to like revisit our past, like heal some stuff from our past, take accountability, just accept ourselves for like who we were then and who we are now. Look at how far you've come. Look at how far we have left to go. That's a positive thing. We like that. I think that this truly is an excellent time here at the end of the year, at the end of a 9-year in numerology, so that we can start this wonderful fresh start in 2026. I know. Because you have to close some doors, close some cycles, right? Before you can have that new beginning. You have to let go of the old so that you can embrace the new. Challenging. It's easier said than done. I don't want you to think, oh my gosh, it's so easy. The way she says it, so easy. Really not. Because especially if you have a Virgo sun and a Capricorn rising, you don't want to let go of the old way of doing stuff. What's the matter? Are you tired of hearing me talk? Yeah. So, how's everybody doing? Everybody doing good? I know. I am letting go of a lot this year. I'm letting go of a lot this season, this moon, because I think it's time. I think it is absolutely, it's just time to let go and just move on. What do you think, Mouse? What does he know? I mean, he's only 4. Yeah. I know. I've got some aging cats here. Badger and his sister Beauty are 5. Mouse is 4. Dolly's 2. The kittens are 1. I think I think Mercury is 2-ish because her origins are unknown. Yeah, get some aging kitties. Oh, and Monty is 3. He showed up as a kitten in my carport in 2022. So, yeah. Just got a lot of cats. A lot of cats. What's happening to me? All right. So, there was a little bit of housekeeping I wanted to do and I cannot remember. But I'm getting geared up to teach more classes next year. I've been teaching some classes for a crew in Colorado. I lovingly call them that they have created their own coven. They couldn't really find they kept meeting each other in these places where they were trying to find a fit for themselves. So they just essentially created their own coven. I've been doing some class. They take classes from all different people. It's not me exclusively by any stretch of the imagination. But I've been doing some classes for them intermittently since this summer, and I really enjoyed it, and I forgot how much I miss doing classes, just instruction. So I think I'm going to do that more in 2026 because it is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I like having people into class. Yeah. Hey, Diane. No, well, it's not exclusively about astrology. It is, but it's not, because when we're talking about the new moon in Scorpio, the new moon, the sun, and Mercury are all in opposition to Uranus, which is retrograde in Taurus. Then we have Jupiter retrograde in Cancer, Neptune and Saturn retrograde in Pisces, and Mercury, of course, is retrograde in Scorpio. So we've got 4 planets retrograde in water, very emotional. And having that opposition to Uranus, it is creating. Hang on just a second. I want to look this up because I remember reading this word before. The first time I heard this word, it was with Marin Altman, and I've talked to you guys about her. I like her. She's on YouTube. She's probably on other things too, but I follow her on YouTube, and it's Marin Altman, Altman, and she talked about a Kazemi. Okay. And I have to get a direct, yeah, I have to get some direct, there it is. Okay. A Kazemi meaning is, when a planet is in exact conjunction with the sun, meaning they're in the same degree. Okay, this is a rare and powerful event, but it does happen more with Mercury. Mercury follows the sun. So it says, Kazemis are seen as moments of great revelation and clarity. For example, a Mercury Kazemi can bring a moment of extraordinary clarity during a Mercury retrograde, which is where we are right now. Okay, that makes me feel better. And that word is spelled Kazimi, Kazemi. But yes, the first time I ever heard that word, it was from Marin Altman. Love her. And seriously, dude. But that is a very interesting thing that Mercury and is conjunct the sun, so that does create that Kazemi, and there is something that is going to come out. It's going to come true. a big reveal. I like that. I'm just trying to move you off of my notes. That's all I'm doing. You know what? Let's just do this. Okay? Up. That's good. That's good. Okay, so that being said, yes, I think that this is sort of a roller coaster. There is a lot of emotional stuff just because the planets that we have in retrograde are mostly in water. And then we have other planets that are just in water, like Venus. So it is a lot. There's a lot happening there. It's pretty significant, and I think this is an interesting. It's always an interesting new moon in Scorpio. Deep, thoughtful, you know. But this one just seems to be pretty intense. It's extra intense for Scorpio. It is. That's interesting. Were those planets in the position last week too? I asked because Wednesday turned out to be significant for me. Wow. Wow, that's kind of interesting, Diane. Last week, I do not believe last week, but let's just go to the calendar, shall we? Okay. I have to flip it back to November because I've been working on December for a little bit now. The biggest thing is Mercury in opposition of Uranus, Diane. That's a huge thing. No. I mean, I really do not see. I mean, I see conjunctions with the moon, but I don't see conjunctions with the sun. Really, it's just happening. And apparently it does have to be conjunct with the sun. So that's why it's like Mercury, the moon, and the moon are both conjunct the sun this time during this new moon, because that's what a new moon is the moon and the sun are conjunct because it makes the moon dark. And this is the that's the Cazimi here. Interesting. All right. So, but there's a lot of stuff happening this month, honestly. Last Wednesday, for sure, Mercury was conjunct Mars in Sagittarius. I want to say that was probably not pleasant. Yeah, then we had some squares. I mean, just a lot of stuff going on here. And I did mention that, like, especially in the numerology videos, how it was like not necessarily a lot of things aspecting this month, but the aspects were pretty intense. I mean, just like kind of like big deal. So, yeah. All right. I do want to ask again if you guys are interested. Next week, I think I would really like to talk about some of the topics that people have been approaching me about, like, privately, and that is about having a metaphysical business. There's only 2 people that I coach on YouTube that have metaphysical channels. The other people I coach on YouTube, because I only have a total of 4 right now that I'm coaching right now on YouTube. But 2 of them are not, they're not metaphysical channels. And I mean, but I will tell you that all the people that I coach, except for one, has like way, way, way more subscribers than me. So I think I've just made a lot of mistakes. I know I know what not to do, you know, and as I said before, but I think that sometimes it's like people think because they have a metaphysical business that they don't need to, like, I don't know, operate like it's a business. So that is something that I want to talk about because it seems like everybody's just like, oh, well, I'm good at reading. I want to read cards for a living, or I want to do astrology for a living. And I am 100% behind that. Like, go do it. But the thing is, you do have to treat it like a business. You do have to treat it like it is it's a job, because it is. And the thing is, when you're working from home, you have a tendency to just never shut off. You're doing the job all the time, and that can be bad as well. Yeah. So, again, we can discuss that. If you guys are interested in it, please let me know. Please, because I want to keep the topics on here very fresh. I want to keep them very, interesting to everyone. And when people like reach out to me privately and ask questions, or, and sometimes it takes me days or even a week to get back to people, because I do overbook myself. I really do. But anyway, that's another thing that we can address if we're talking about like metaphysical businesses. So let me know if this is something interesting to you, or if it's not. Please hit me up and let me know what you guys are interested in. Because I haven't run out of topics. I have notebooks full of topics, but I want to make sure that I'm keeping it to what you guys are interested in. What Mouse is interested in mostly. I try to get him really engaged. And I mean, look at this. He's so engaged right now. I mean, he is in it, buddy. I mean, we love that. Well, actually, it wasn't that bad. To summarize, I went to... Oh. Oh, well, that's great. Oh, well, that's great. I'm so glad, Diane. That sounds great. I mean, I really need to put my glasses on so that I can read all the words that you have said. Oh, okay, yes. Well, that's good. I mean, you got to express yourself. Yeah. But I mean, I think that's really good. He seemed more grateful. Oh, well, that is nice. That is very nice. All right. So, you guys, I don't know. Well, hello, Elizabeth Martin. I'm so sorry. I don't recognize your name right off, but it doesn't mean that I don't know you. Just means that sometimes I don't know people for what their handles are on Facebook. But please let me know, you guys, especially if you're watching this in the reruns, what you're interested in hearing from me, because I have loads of stuff that I want to talk about, but I don't know if it's things that you want to hear me talk about. I know. So again, just keep me in the loop with what you're interested in. But next week, unless something changes or shifts, I think I'm going to talk about like what it looks like to have a metaphysical business, or what you need to be looking at in terms of if you want a metaphysical or spiritual business, right? He's giving me a big stretch. I mean, big stretch. I'm telling you, this is him paying me back for feeding him late today. Gotta love that. Really. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I cannot believe that I was like, this is, how many weeks have I been practically on time? And I've not had to struggle with Facebook. So I don't know if something has been corrected on that end. I know that like on Facebook Lives, like I can't put a thumbnail on it anymore. I don't really know what happened. There was some sort of update or something. But we're just dealing with it. So for now, I'm still going to stream to Facebook, but I really would eventually like to move everybody over to YouTube for the live shows. But for now, I can pull Facebook up on my phone, and I can at least see like who's there in the comments on my phone, and it seems to be working. I don't seem to be having as many problems with it, so yay! Again, things got corrected during Mercury retrograde. Yes. And all of you that commented tonight will also be in the drawing that I'm going to do on, the 23rd. So next Tuesday is the last day of the month for metaphysical practices. So I will be doing the drawing live for this beautiful little girl. This is a snowflake. Oh my gosh, it's a rainbow moonstone. Why was I going to say snowflake moonstone? This is a rainbow moonstone. It even says it on the bottom. Rainbow moonstone. Fantastic. So, we'll be giving that away next Tuesday. All right. So if you have commented on the monthly numerology or the mid-month numerology that I just put out like by accident because I thought it was still the 15th, right? We're not going to discuss that. And I'm real sorry. Or if you have commented on metaphysical practices videos, I'll accept that. So I will do the drawing next Tuesday on the 23rd, and we can, hey, Carol DeForest, we can talk about metaphysical businesses. All right, you guys, I hope y'all have an excellent, excellent week. I hope it's just everything that you hope it will be. Yeah. I hope you have a cat that wants to sleep on your work, on your desk. I mean, you know, like this one. He's really cute. I mean, really. I wish you could see his little face because he sleeps with his mouth open a little bit. That's funny. When you see a cat sleeping like that, I mean, that's funny. All right, you guys. Again, I hope y'all have a wonderful, wonderful night. And until we see each other again, get out there and make your magic. Bye, y'all.